going to go ahead and get the live stream started. We're fairly shallow, just fishing some shade, as in 1.8 feet. I'm Percy Priest, if you haven't noticed. I put it in the title. My dad just using a shaky head. What?
Standing right there makes it harder for me to cast.
Okay. I was trying to get the pole on the thing. Sorry. Little fish, or you can go and show us some of the poles. Got this like inshore rod V setup. I think the pole's a little bit stiffer than for bass fishing, in my opinion. This is probably a really nice pole. This is probably one of my favorites.
Did you call one of those a ducky?
No, I said an inshore pole, a stiffer pole. This is probably one of my favorites. This is one we bought from, I think, Academy. My dad's probably going to do a 1 year or so, roughly a year that we had this boat fall up. Right in the tree. That wasn't a bad cast at the end. The fish splashes behind us. 90% of the fish back the boat.
This whole thing is extremely shallow, buddy.
Okay, that looks a little better up ahead. It's shallower, though. Yeah. Might need to turn a little bit.
Bunch of minnows right there and something tiny. Well, not big, bigger than minnows. Just do them before you move.
Oh, okay. There's an area that's fairly shallow, though it looks like it'd be very good fishing. And since I'm not fishing, I will probably reply to whatever comments or whatever you have. Yeah, it looks like a decent area. Since there's some real shallow.
Square chunk rock sticking out there, like sheets of rock. I'll try to get back in there farther on it. Probably put it in the tree.
Nice. Is that bugs or is that minnows right there? I think it's minnows, honestly. Yeah, it's minnows. Hello. Something I would like to catch is bass. And I don't know if it's Maine, somewhere farther that way. There is something called Cape Cod Canal. I watch a YouTuber that fishes that. And I would think it would be really cool to catch striped bass. There is some striped bass in Tennessee, though not very many. At least there's not, well...
It's known for lakes with striped bass.
Though not like saltwater. It's not the same. It seems more difficult.
Still didn't get all the way back in there.
Can you not have your pull tip so high? We haven't caught anything quite yet. We just started the live stream and got to the spot. That was a good cast. Nag.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about that tree right there. It has branches. I probably.
I'm gonna show you this dead tree. That looks really good. And it's kind of in the middle-ish. Just a dead tree. There should be a lot of fish on that, so we might fish it a little bit later. And very shallow. 1.3, 1.5.
That is from the bottom of the trolling motor.
Yes.
Transducer mounted on the trolling motor, but still.
That's shallow.
Yep. Felt him pick. Hey, we actually caught a bass on a live stream. Wow.
Within the first 10 minutes.
Really?
Yes.
There's gotta be something wrong with that. I don't know how we all of a sudden turned something like crazy.
And someone asked, where's your fishing license?
Oh, we always buy them
Online?
Yeah. The app we got the Tennessee Wildlife Resources app. I got Florida and Georgia and Alabama right now, and you got Illinois too. I don't have Florida or Georgia right now, but in the past I've had those, depending on where we go. But we got Alabama and Tennessee. Alabama, you always got to remember to do freshwater and saltwater if you're doing both.
It's a semi-clear lake, I guess. It's not quite swamp water. It's not necessarily that clear water.
This is rock, like big square rocks and
Shallow.
muddy, and it's shallow. It looks browner than what the water actually is in this area because you're seeing the bottom.
Probably stop the live stream after so long because I do want to fish. It's just I'm trying to do a live stream so I can get more views and that they do a good job instead of doing a mountain or something. Because when it was from that one position, it wasn't very entertaining, at least in my opinion. And not a fish.
Yeah, I saw that cast right over it. I don't know.
Looks like algae or weed. Don't know. It's like one of the best lures in my opinion. Ned rig, basically the same thing. The only difference is Ned rig are sometimes open hook and they're a little bit smaller, but otherwise it's the same.
I think that was a big old carp. At least I saw a big body swim off. That's all I saw. Best thing I caught yesterday was a channel catfish, but I don't even think we did a picture or
No,
anything of it.
just because didn't really get the video of the fish, and then I don't know, just didn't do it.
Didn't think about it.
Yeah. So far, it's 1 fish to 0. Very pathetic tournament. Since I'm not quite fishing right now.
You know, you set yourself up for a comment right there.
What?
It's not going to make a difference.
Okay, really?
You did pick the shallowest dang finger you could pick too. Instead of a deeper transition line, you just picked a real shallow one. You know that, right?
Yeah, but Percy Pierce, some of the things are very shallow. And look on the other side if you haven't noticed. And you caught a fish. You see that dead tree? That would be a little bit deeper, and it would have, I don't know what you quite mean, any shrimps. This is freshwater. Yeah, really. It does, a lot of people say shrimp is better for catfish just because it's something you can buy and have for a good while that doesn't spoil too easily. And it's not natural or whatever to freshwater, so though it's still kind of a natural bait.
It spoils very easy, boy.
Well, not frozen.
Okay. Most things don't spoil frozen.
Okay, really? So a lot of people will use shrimp for catfish.
I can't get.
And it's a different presentation. It's somewhat natural, just not to the water.
That's a nice rock or stick.
Probably rock.
I know the camera won't pick it up, but there's just big slabs of rock all over the place in here, and you got to really watch out.
And half the time when you get closer to the boat, but this will get fish to bite, though your lure, once you get close to the boat, since it has to go up to the boat, and that's where your pole is, at first your cast sinks all the way to the bottom. And then once you get close to the boat, it starts raising. Which sometimes we might think the fish is escaping, or whatever your bait is, so the fish will be triggered by that and bite. Don't always fish it all the way to the boat, that can be something that can get you more fish. I always think just casting the shade is better, just because it depends on the scenario there if that does happen.
I'm trying to. Usually I fish it all the way to the boat, but since we're out here and I'm pretty far.
That was a good cast. Right in the shade.
there. Patio chair. Really. There's 5 or 6 rocks right there. I can put it.
I think I might end the stream soon. Not quite a fish.
It was a fish. I got 5 or 6 taps, and then I went to set the hook, and I let it, let it have slack, and then went to set the hook, and it was just a snag. Oh, that was a bass. Looked like one anyway. Guess a while ago it was a green sunfish or something.
Or bluegill.
Yep. That would include the or something.
Okay, really?
Better shade on.
I see it now since you're moving it.
That's a fish. I know it's shy or something, but I haven't cast the grass yet.
Hoping that was a fish, but no, when it hits the water multiple times and sounds like it's flapping wings.
Really?
Really?
The weedless swim bait I had on earlier would have been good for this area. And that's the one I broke off as soon as I put it to the grass.
Do you want to take over for a little bit?
Sure. You want my rod?
Sure. I could fit in that. Which makes sense. Probably won't get the thing. Or I'll catch way more. Hopefully I will.
I'm guessing you got a snag and break off.
Okay. Try to lower my pole tip so you can actually see what I'm doing.
That's his standard retrieve for everything now. He's used a shaky head so much, he shakes everything when he retrieves it. I seen him doing that with a spinner yesterday. I'm like, oh, great. Except a gotcha plug. That's a whole nother level.
What did I break on one of the poles?
The reel seat on the pole, the reel of a pole, all using a gotcha plug. He's very serious about his jerking on the gotcha plug.
And I'm gonna hook up with Jack Bell first. If we hook up, that is.
Our last 2 trips down there, the weather has not cooperated for going out in the boat. This boat's a bay boat. It's kind of like a hybrid between a bass boat and a saltwater boat, center console. This particular boat has a 25-inch transom and 27-inch sides, which is, larger transom and sides than a lot of bass boats, and handles bigger waves a little better than bass boats will, but it is not capable of going out offshore or near shore if it's very rough at all. You got to really, I want it pretty smooth. This little finger actually connects to another part of the lake, but I don't know if we can get through it. The camera. We were disconnected for a good while, and I was talking the whole time.
I said, nice line get snagged on.
Yeah. I really do think we need something with a little better, deeper transitions, boy. Well, the little 1/2-inch minnows can get up in the shallow water with that problem. I'm messing with you.
Yeah, a decent one. It has gone a little bit deeper.
Yep. The spot right here is.
No, from the beginning was shallow. Not the very beginning.
The tree's a little more in the middle than what I thought out there. As you can see, it opens up into a pretty big round area, and it's in the middle.
I know that point we probably have a fish.